Hi, and welcome to a simple training on personal lending and how to sell personal loans. This is Elijah Cheeks, the founder and owner of CBR Capital, and I want to start by welcoming you to the opportunity to make really high commissions and also have the opportunity to control exactly how much you make. The beautiful thing about our opportunity, simply put, is that we are in a space where, with just a little bit of hard work and consistency, there's an opportunity to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 monthly with the way that our dividends work. Essentially, we're paying 5% on personal loans. Some of you who are working with me have seen some of the deals that we've already put through. The average personal loan that we're getting is over 50K, so we're getting a lot of the 100K personal loans, which is a $5,000 commission for you, right? So making 5% means that you're going to make between $2,000 and $10,000 on any given deal. And the most important thing, believe it or not, about really succeeding in this space isn't just knowing the product. Knowing the product's important. I really think that's very important, and I'm going to talk about that too. But I think making sure that you know how to obtain clients, which is more of an internal game than most people think. You see, what's beautiful in our business is we're not in a waiting business, we're in a creating business. So being that we're in a creating business, then every piece of success or any type of result that we obtain is a very clear and directive choice, right? So in building your business, you are going to be building a pipeline. You are going to be, getting a lot of clients in the funnel, so to speak. We are going to be working hard, but we're also going to be working smart. What I'm excited to teach you are some techniques that work, but before I dive into that, I highly encourage that you spend time making sure that you make a strong list of why you want to actually make 10, 20, or 30K a month. The reason why that why statement, that why paragraph, some people I've known have written down 100 whys, is so important is because it gives you emotional momentum for the natural challenges that come across when you're actually going for something bigger, when you're going for something different, and when you're going for something you may have never gone before. Now, some of you may be listening to this and you're highly motivated. You do everything you say you're going to do. You're going to follow this plan to a T, and you have a track record of success in this actual space and field. I'm not really saying this for you, okay? I'm talking to the person who may have trouble with, doing the same task over and over again with enthusiasm. The type of person who gets discouraged sometimes when they get a no or when someone rejects them, right? The type of person that is what I would say is the everyday person. However, with the right tools and the right habits, none of those things will affect your business. None of those things will affect your income. None of those will affect your results and the lifestyle you want to live. So I'd say step one is create a why list that you can engage to. That is your fuel. Then from your why list, you start creating your massive action plan. We want to make sure that your plan has so much activity in it that you are overloaded with leads, so that way you're choosing clients versus clients choosing you. The only thing that most consultants in this space ruin are the relationships with the clients, and the way that they ruin those relationships is simply by focusing on just trying to close a deal, just trying to make money, and not really thinking about helping their client hit their goals, which obviously when they hit their goals, you hit yours. That's how you get paid, right? So we want to make sure that we have the right mindset. We want to make sure that we're niching correctly, we're finding the right clients. We want to make sure that we're consistently doing with energy. So having a morning routine where you wake up and you do something that serves your spiritual, intellectual, physical, and emotional body will give you the energy and juice to have consistent results. That's a big tip that I give to everyone. Wake up an hour earlier before anything else starts in the day. Get your mindset, get your growth, get everything you need to kind of move forward and then attack it. Okay, so that's my 4 to 5 minute spiel on mindset. The things we'll talk about today is what you can expect if you follow the plan, what the focus is as far as niche clienting, what a good credit profile looks like, how to actually go out and acquire customers. That's the part you're probably going to want to take the most notes on. And if you haven't grabbed pen and paper yet, if you haven't decided to start typing some of this stuff down yet, I highly encourage you to dive right in. We are going to talk about the most effective, not just clients to approach and how to approach clients, but also the most effective approaches when approaching these clients. What to say, how to say it. I encourage you to write some of this stuff down. And then we'll talk about submission, and then there'll be another video later that'll actually walk you through a screenshot of how to submit files. And then obviously how to get referrals and keep your business growing and going forward. So with that being said, I'm excited to dive in. So first things first, let's make sure we manage expectations correctly. In order to get the results of $10 or $20 or $30,000 a month, what we're talking about is $200,000 to $600,000 loans funded, or you could look at it as anywhere between $200,000 to $1 million, $600,000 of funding, right? That's really what you're focused on. By the way, there are some really cool incentives for those of you who do hit the $500,000 mark and over 5 loans in a month. There's a special trip. You'll learn about that as you dive in more and more. All expenses paid, really cool places. The next one's Tahiti. Hope to see you there. So anyways, let's dive in. What should you be focused on? Well, there's this concept of mind over matter, and there's a lot of things that will seem like they matter as you're working. But really, what you want to make sure you're focused on is application submissions. Good application submission. And putting yourself in a space where you're getting 1 to 2 good application submissions per week will put you in that $5,000 to $10,000 a month range, because you will close on 1 out of every 2 of your personal lending applications. Your clients, once they get the approvals, they're going to be excited. We're going to manage their expectations correctly, so they will be excited. And for all of your first deals, I will, if you're in the state of New Jersey, have no problem meeting with your clients together with you to help you with the deal, help them map out their goals, and then help them actually get the product that really is going to serve them the best. For those of you who are not in the New Jersey area, I have no problem doing a 3-way call, with your client, a Skype session, a Zoom session, anything like that, to make sure that you feel comfortable, they feel comfortable, and the whole process is very seamless and smooth until you get it down yourself, right? So we are here to serve. Next portion, focus. So which clients should we focus on? Now, the minimum client we can serve has a 685 score and makes $40K annually. That is not the client that we focus on. We focus on the clients that have a 730 score and that make over $70K annually. The reason why those are the 2 numbers that we focus on, 730 and 70, or even a 770K usually gets the job done, is that credit profile typically has the right mix. It takes more than just one credit card and good payment history to get above a 710. And more importantly, that client is more likely to get approved for $100,000 funding. And the client who's going to get approved for $100,000 funding can actually put themselves in a space where they can use that money for a corporate real estate job. And there's lots of businesses that can be owner finance bought with that type of cash. And if they're running a business expansion with $100,000 does go a long way. So we want to make sure we have people that we can actually have a significant impact with, that we can have a significant conversation with. The worst thing that a consultant can do is be a one, come all type of organization, where they say, hey, if you want money, come see me, I'll help you, because you'll get every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You'll get people who have horrible credit, and they're not bad people, and we can direct them to credit restoration so that way they can be fundable eventually. But in terms of your time, you are giving yourself more lag time than you deserve. You are spinning your wheels a little bit. You are essentially losing money because you're not spending time with your quality clients that can actually get you paid faster. And I do think it's important to help people. And I'll teach you, if you like, some automated ways where if someone comes in through your funnel that is not the right client, you could still direct them to some credit restoration. You can still give them some help, but it doesn't need to be a conversation. It doesn't need to be a meeting. It doesn't have to be lunch. It literally can just be an email or a text. And that way you're spending all of your valuable time with the clients that are going to get funded, that are going to make you money. And that's really the goal. So what should we focus on other than that? W-2 income. There are lots of business owners and investors out there that want this type of funding, and I can tell you that some of them can get it. Those files are very difficult to handle. Income verification for someone who is not W-2 income is not as exciting for our lenders. So W-2 income as their 70K plus is the goal, okay? We want to focus on W-2. Are there exceptions? Yes. Will we flirt with exceptions as you're working with us? Yes. And will we help people that may not have been able to be helped conventionally? Yes, okay? However, as a consultant, when you do your marketing, when you're reaching out, you only want to focus on your ideal client. Your ideal client is where you want to put your energy towards, so that way you're getting better results and you're creating the type of growth and income that you're focused on for your business, right? Number one step in making your business great is making sure your business profits. Everything else will come secondary to that, but those things are important too. What does a good credit profile look like? This is some stuff you may want to write down. 1, 2 years of age on their revolving debt. What that means is their credit cards are over 2 years old. Their credit cards also need to have under a 50% utilization. It is ideal that it's under 30%, but if you want some really high approvals, like the one we did last week for about $180,000 for one of our clients, you want to see if you can get them below 11%. If you have people with under 11% utilization on all their credit cards, on their credit report, that's a very healthy file. As far as the actual credit cards, it doesn't matter which credit cards they are, but you do want them to be 3 credit cards, okay? They can get by with 2, but the goal is to have 3. And on top of it being 3 credit cards, those 3 credit cards, all of their revolving debt needs to add up to $10,000. You want it to add up to $10,000. That's what the lender's looking for. That shows the customer is comfortable with handling debt and responsible with handling debt. If it's only a couple of grand, there's a chance of approvals, but they're just not going to be as high. And it's not going to be what either party is really looking for, okay? So we got to make sure we keep that in mind. You want to make sure that your client has term loans that they have. So that could be a car note, it could be a house or 2, it could be something as simple as a student loan. You know, term loans that are going to end, but you want them to add up to over $25,000, and you want them to be over 2 years old. This may go without saying, but no late payments on anything in the last year, no derogatories in terms of collections. If they have anything like an old blemish, like a foreclosure or bankruptcy, it needs to be discharged and over 5 years old in most cases. And that is the ideal profile from a credit standpoint, and you match that up with a $70K W-2 income, and now you have exactly what you're looking for to get those $2,000 to $5,000 paychecks every single time. So, are there exceptions? Yes. Should you focus on exceptions? Absolutely not. Avoid exceptions, because if you start getting into the business of saying yes to everyone, you're actually saying no to yourself, you're saying no to your business, and you're going to lose out. But if you say yes to the right people, you say no to the wrong people, you're going to always win, and you're going to serve your clients, and they're going to be happy, and you're going to get great testimonials about how they built their business versus a client who's going to just keep on nagging you on, hey, are we ready yet? Are we ready yet? Are we ready yet? Because typically someone who isn't really a healthy credit profile or not that great in income is probably more eager for the funding than you are to give it to them. And it's a great dynamic when you and your client are kind of in alignment, where they're just excited to get the funding, you're excited to give it to them, everyone's winning, everyone's excited. And a lot of times your best clients are the ones who don't really need the money, and they're not as excited, so we have to educate them on why it makes more sense to use a term loan to buy a business than your IRA and risk your retirement or risk your house by getting a home equity line of credit, how uncollateralized cash funding is the best way to dive into a new endeavor with the least amount of risk, especially when the only risk is really their credit profile, which can be repaired with restoration, and we can refer them to people that do a great job with that. Customer acquisition, let's dive into that, because I know that's probably the question that's always in your head, you know, like, how do I get more customers? How do I get more customers? Well, there's multiple ways to get customers. I want to make sure that you use the best ways to get customers and get the best types of customers, okay? The easiest and most important thing to remember when it comes to customer acquisition is that when you are talking to your potential client, you never want to sit down and say, hey, do you want a loan? That is not the way that you talk to a client. What you want to do is you want to say, hey, I just started working with a consulting firm where we help people build businesses and we help people with real estate investing. We typically do this by getting them $50,000 to $500,000 worth of funding. You know, and this is all through personal term loans. It's a really great program. People get funded like in a week or so. I'm sharing this with you because I really respect you, and I know you know some business owners, some investors. I even know that you're a business owner investor yourself. And I was wondering if you knew anyone, like, who do you know that may be open-minded to learning how they could use cash loans to build a business or invest? Because I'd love to sit down with them and my business partner, which would be me, right? So that way they can explain and map out how they may hit their goals using some of our products and our consulting. It's free, there's no fee. And I'm just wondering, who do you know who might be able to help me out? I need at least 3 to 5 people this week to stay on track with my goals. If you just gave me one, you'd be a lifesaver, you know? that type of conversation with the ideal client is going to get you ideal clients, because they're generally going to be the type of person that wants to help you, or they're going to be a client for you. Who do you say that to? Well, I would recommend starting with the people that you know you have influence with, right? Say you've done network marketing or some type of sales job. You probably sold to friends and family a tons of times and went through and kind of wrung the rag dry to a point where maybe they're not excited to hear about your new endeavor or your new thing or whatever you're excited about. I'm here to tell you that that's the perfect person to reach out to, because you're not going to ask them to join. You're not going to ask them to join. You're not going to ask them to buy anything. You're not going to ask them. What you're asking them is to help you build your business by referring you to someone who wants to build their business. That's it. And it's going to be a very easy conversation. They're going to be excited to hear from you if it's someone that you love and know. And everyone on our team, before they dive in, what they do is they make a list of 100 names and numbers of people that are in their sphere of influence. Friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, people that maybe they have a religious affiliation to, if they're like a church goer or mosque goer or temple goer. It could be someone that is currently working with you if you have another job at the same time. It could be someone that you live with. It could be your landlord, which is a great person if you rent, because they're an investor. And investors love cash, because they can do so much more, especially in the corporate real estate space, It could be anyone, but it's important that you make this list. And the reason why it's 100 is because most people have more than 100 Facebook friends. Most people have thousands of Facebook friends. And if I told you a marketing strategy, which I will in a second, where you could get business online, you would take it in a heartbeat. However, this approach is more personal, it's more powerful, and it's more effective. If you go through all those 100 leads in 1 week, you make 20 calls a day in the morning, I guarantee you'll get one file by the next week. That one file, when and if closed, will change your opportunity, because the faster you close your first file, the more enthusiasm you're going to have. As soon as you get a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 wire transfer into your bank account, you're going to be unearthed new energy and enthusiasm. And when you see how happy your client is when they get wired all their money, you're going to see just so many sparks fly. It's going to make you want to dive in more. It's going to make you want to do more, keep rinsing, repeating, and you want to build that momentum, right? We get repeat business. We get clients who refer clients, but it all comes with this bullish mindset of, hey, what can I create? How can I create it? Can I create it now? And that's the attitude you want to have. You don't want to wait for business. You want to create business, right? So outgoing calls to friends and family is a good way to start. Bank managers. This is your bread and butter in the business. Bank managers have people come to them every single day that want loans, but there are banks that only give about $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, or on the highest end, $50,000 in lending on a personal loan. Our company can do a lot more. We can do literally 5 to 10 times whatever the bank can do in most cases. So that is our incentive. Now, bank managers, why would a bank manager want to help you if they see you as competition? Well, most of them won't. And the reason why they won't see you as competition is because they know that they can't serve some of their clients. Some of their clients say, I need a $100,000 personal loan. And they say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And then that person goes nowhere. What if that person came to you? Well, how do you get there? Well, step one is building a relationship with bank managers in your local area. I recommend regional banks, credit unions, because they typically have the worst personal lending programs. And when you meet them, it's a very simple conversation. You would say, hey, my name is blank, and I work with a consulting firm that helps people get personal loans. The reason why I'm here is simply because I want to connect with the bank manager, because they're the ones that typically handle loans. I want to connect with the bank manager for two reasons. One, with all the networking that we're doing, I am receiving clients who have a need for products that I don't have. Some of them want loans that I don't provide, like certain types of business loans. Some of them actually want to get property, and I don't provide property loans for people in single family homes or anything like that. So I'd like to give you some of the clients that I'm seeing, because I'm doing a ton of networking all week, and I would also would like a favor in return. I would love for you to lend me anyone who needs help with personal lending, because I know we could do a good job with them, and have them meet them at our office in Bridgewater, and we can connect. So that's the approach, and it's a different approach, because what we're doing is we're being go-givers, not go-getters. We're not going to them to try and take something. We're going to add value first. In fact, you want to have the mindset of adding so much value, giving so much value to people in your network, your clients, the bank managers especially, so much value that they are almost feeling indebted to adding value to you. They almost feel guilty because you're so good to them, they want to be good to you. And I'm sure you can think of at least one or two examples in your life where there's that one or two people that they were just so nice to you, so giving to you, that you felt bad if you didn't do something nice for them or giving for them. And that's the type of mindset you want to have. You want to have a go-giver mindset. That's going to make all the difference. Bank managers are bread and butter, so you can just visit the bank, get the bank, and it takes a couple of visits. The first time you go, you're not going to sit down with the bank manager. You may get their card and then set up an appointment later with them. And when you meet them, I recommend dressing professionally because they'll be dressed professional. I recommend having a flyer. I can send you one if you want it, of our personal lending product, and business cards, okay? And if you need help with design on business cards, we can help you with that too, okay? But I highly encourage you to have all those things ready, so that way, when you meet with them, you have something to give them in hand, you know? Worst case scenario, stop at Staples same day, grab some business cards, so at least you have a business card and you can start the email dialogue and tell them you send everything in an email. It's very common. When you have anything else extra, they're always flabbergasted. But the objective is to bring all of the business cards you have from networking and just rifle through them and just openly talk about the people. Say, hey, this person might be someone you can help. I know that they need a new bank. Oh, I know this person needs business insurance, and obviously I don't do that. And you just keep running and say, hey, yeah, I think you should contact this person, and you just give. And what you'll notice is they will turn around and they'll go, well, before you leave, there's one person that I thought of, or they'll send you an email, they'll give you a call, but everyone likes working with someone that adds value to them first. So be a go-giver, add value first. Where do you get these leads? Well, that leads me to my next point. BNI, Business Networking International. If you've never been, you got to go. They're at 7 a.m., which is perfect because you know that the whole world's asleep. The only serious people are up. The hardest workers are up. So you're going to go to this event. By the way, BNI, Business Networking International, they have thousands of them. Well, hundreds for sure. I don't know if it's thousands, but it seems like that. They have a ton of chapters all over the United States of America. And they have them also in other countries, but we're obviously focusing on the U.S. for our personal lending. But no matter what state you're in or city you're in, I guarantee if you go to BNI.com, you'll find a BNI near you. Don't just go to one, and don't join one right away. What I recommend is going to at least 20 BNIs, okay? That's 5 days a week, Monday through Friday for about a month, okay? And what you're going to do is at these BNIs, they pass around business cards, and you're going to take every single business card. These are going to be they'll always be like one bank manager. There'll usually be someone who does real estate. There'll be realtors. There'll be lawyers. But all these people can serve you and help you. And there'll be all different types of professions. But it's all about trading referrals. The reason why you're taking all these leads is because these are people that you're going to be able to add value to naturally. It's also people for your Rolodex, people for your email list when you start your MailChimp. Okay, it's good for marketing. And then you'll also have the bank managers, which you'll section off, and you'll set up one-to-ones with those bank managers. And bank managers from BNIs, they always give more leads than any other type of person, any other type of person. So those are your bread and butter. You love those people. You want to make sure that you keep those people in your wheelhouse, okay? So you want to really go for BNIs to get a lot of leads, but that's going to be an easy way to get like 100 cards in 1 week. So that way when you're flipping through your Rolodex, you have a lot to give. The next move. You want to go to commercial real estate investment events, okay? Anything that's about multifamily real estate or corporate real estate. The reason why corporate is because in corporate real estate, your actual debt-to-income ratio doesn't matter. What matters is the deal. It's structured as a business when it's over 5 units, and they care about the cash, that's the down payment, which is 20%, or if they're doing like a specialty financing program, it might be as low as 5% on $1 million deal. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you spend time at these commercial REI events getting business cards and giving business cards, but the conversation you have at the BNI and the conversation you have at the commercial real estate event is always the same. They always give you this opportunity for an elevator speech. Sometimes you can talk in front of a group. Sometimes it's just one-on-one. But what you say to people at a BNI, because they literally give you like a minute or two to describe what you do, you stand up and say, hey, my name is blank, and I work for CBR Capital. I'm a consultant. What we do is we help people who want to build a business, buy a business, or go into commercial real estate, get cash lending so they can do so with very little risk to any of their personal assets. So if you know someone who has a 700 credit score, makes over $70K a year, and they're excited to get out of the rat race, so they're excited to really build an empire, get into the business and the investing sector, please see me, please give me those referrals because I'm going to help them build a business because that's what we do. We're business builders and we focus on helping people really grow their portfolios. So That's the intro. And then when someone asks you, hey, what do you do one-on-one? You say the exact same thing again at these commercial REI events. Why is it so specific? Because you want to drive toward your ideal client. You don't want to be the person who's the jack of all trades, master of none. You don't want to be the person who can help everybody. They say, can you do hard money? You can say, yes, I have the resources, but it's not our focus. You know, and you may still get some other deals for some other ventures you have, and that can happen, but you want to be known as the person who gets people cash in their bank account in 5 days, 10 days. So that way when they're thinking, hey, I need cash, or someone needs cash, you're the first one that comes to mind. That's what you want. Okay, so that's the focus. That commercial real estate investment event, that will be a really big bank. You'll get some of your first great leads and they'll build. Another great spot would be any type of personal growth event. Fortune Builders is great because it's a personal growth real estate group, okay? They usually have like a free seminar you can go to, and then they have weekends that people pay like $250 to go to. By the way, the BNIs, they're typically free the first 2 times, okay? So do all of them 2 times. Commercial real estate events, they may cost like $20-25 once or whatever the case may be, and you can only go once or twice before they ask for a membership. But that's how you build your bank. You go to these. Where do you find these places? Well, you can literally type in REI groups in Google in your area, and you'll see a bunch of stuff pop up. You can also go to meetup.com, Eventbrite, and that's another place where you can find different events. BNI, you can go to bni.com. Bank managers, you can look at the Chamber of Commerce website, you can Google it, or you can just drive for dollars and just check out your local banks, okay? If you are less mobile, if you're not going to meet people face to face and you're doing everything from home, and this is a beautiful business. I mean, I've done this on islands in St. Martin, I've done this at casinos in Atlantic City, I've done this in my office in Bridgewater, I've done this at home in a robe, you know? So you can do this business anywhere. That's the beautiful thing about this opportunity. But say you are someone who's just like immobile, right? And you just can't get out there, or you just don't want to. Well, cold calling bank managers is just is a substitute for seeing them face to face, and it works. It's not as effective, okay? So you will make more calls, but think about it. You could actually make more calls than making visits. So in a sense, it could be better for you if you really are committed to sitting down, making those 30 to 50 calls on a daily basis, calling all the bank managers in your area, then keep on branching out over and over and over again. Get those conversations going, set up phone meetings, and then let them know, hey, I want to give you business, and I'm hoping you'll do the same for me. And the sooner you give them business, the sooner they'll give you business, okay? The next thing you can do, go on Craigslist. Cold call people who are doing credit restoration. And the reason why you're cold calling them is because they're fixing people's credit and getting them to those 700 plus credit scores. A lot of those people are entrepreneurs who want money, who want cash. And you can help them by getting them term loans right after they're fixed. And you can even give that actual credit restoration company owner a 0.25% referral fee. You know, you can give them some type of nice bonus. You can buy them a Visa gift card. You can get to know them, really build a relationship with them, and then you can get them things that they like. I will help some of my referral partners with trips, because I like to travel, and I know a lot of them do too. You know, birds of a feather, right? So I'll give them a trip using a timeshare. So that's another way that you can build business. You can also spend time cold calling people who have ads up for business loans. Anyone who has an ad up for a business loan is talking to people that probably could or should get a personal loan. And they may just not have the resource. They may only be a merchant cash advance lender. So that person, they're seeing business all the time that they have to turn away, but you can be the actual opportunity for them to make more money and not have to turn that business away. Also, believe it or not, posting Craigslist ads in the financial services section. If you want an example of an ad, I can send you one, but here's the thing. It's important that you don't copy the ad that I send you. And the reason why it's important that you don't copy the ad I send you is because then the ad gets flagged, my ad gets flagged, and none of us actually have any postings on Craigslist. So it's important that you change your own ads over and over again. You repost your ads before you post a new one, so that way maybe you can start to stack them. So there's a bunch of ads in one place. It costs $5 to do it on Craigslist. I also encourage that when you put in financial services, that your ad title is one that you think will stand out. So look at the other ad titles first. See what catches your eye and then mimic it, okay? A really good idea is to look at other personal loan ads and then mimic or shift or change a little bit. And you could drive them directly to your phone to call you. You can go to Calendly.com, get a Calendly link and direct them straight to Calendly. By the way, Calendly's free, okay? If you don't want them to call your personal line, you can get a Google Voice number, forward that to your phone. Just make sure you turn off the setting that makes them say who their name is first. So that way it just goes straight to ringing. It's like a normal phone, okay? There's lots of ways you can manage Craigslist, but it's a very awesome tool. You can get business all over the nation, and close loans no problem. And people are looking for money, and they're just looking for someone that they can call, they can trust. Sometimes you get people who are a little bit more in pain, if they're in Craigslist, because Craigslist has a weird reputation of being credible, but also sometimes not being credible, right? So you'll have some skeptical people for sure call you, but then you'll have some desperate people who really need help, and you'll be their savior. You'll be the answer to whatever situation they're in. Those are some really great ways. Another way is social media. Your social media, I always recommend just advertising that you're doing this, whether it be on your Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And you don't have to send out direct messages to a bunch of people asking them for business, but them knowing that they can go to you, you'll find that you'll attract business. And attraction marketing is always easier to close than forced marketing, right? Where you're shoving a product down someone's throat until they submit, right? You're getting people who actually want to talk to you, who are looking for this, or maybe they're just excited to learn and then they get attracted to it after. But you want to make sure that if you are using social media, that you aren't dirtying up your brand by just posting every single day, buy personal loans from me, buy personal loans from me, because that's not going to really attract people. What you're better off doing is posting like motivational quotes, things about money, things about business, things that are exciting, right? Things that are aesthetically pleasing, places that you travel to, places that you'd like to travel to, right? Some really cool posts, some things that are like really cool motivational speeches, and then add yourself to groups in Facebook and LinkedIn and join groups that are involved in personal growth, commercial real estate, and banking, okay? Lending. And what you do is in those groups, you start asking motivational questions like, hey, what's the one thing your business could use right now that'd make it great? And every single time someone actually has a comment, like it, and then reply, saying thanks for sharing. Like it, reply, because this is going to create a lot of activity, a lot of positive activity. And then whenever someone says money, you can send them a direct message very similar to what you say at a BNI. And you can have them call you. You can start the conversation. That's another way to get leads. Some people aren't that great with social media, but you could always go to Upwork.com and hire someone in another country who will do it for a cheap nominal price, and they'll be your social media manager. You may want to wait till you have your first sale before you start adding on the things that cost a little bit of money, but you can have someone work on your behalf on social media for a $200 a month budget, no problem. 5 hours a week for someone in another country where the dollar's a little stronger. The Philippines or India are very common places where people will hire from. Is a great way to kind of build your business without actually adding a ton of costs and a ton of time, so you could focus on file submission and working with your clients. So submission, how is submission done? Well, there'll be another video on this so you can see it, but in the short, you just go to cbrcapitalgroup.com. You have the client sign the DocuSign that's right on the bottom of the page. And then you go to personal funding, and on the phone or face-to-face, you'll enter in all the information that's right in there for the personal lending application. And then for the documents that need to be uploaded, it's right there. You upload all the documents, submit, and then I'll review, and then we'll submit it to the CRM. What happens next is the client will actually be scheduled for a compliance call. After they're scheduled for a compliance call, within 1 to 2 business days, they are going to get pre-approvals. That same day, they should and have to accept the pre-approvals to avoid rescission, which is when a loan gets taken back from the lender because they got uncomfortable with the person they were considering funding. So they accept all the terms, and then they follow the instructions of the funding team. So you're after you get the application uploaded, you really don't have to do much. But I like to explain the process to the client so they know what to expect. But after they accept it, every single loan will hit their bank account within 1 to 3 business days of them accepting the loan and getting all the other steps that maybe that certain lender will ask for. Okay, so they'll have cash wired, and then after they have cash wired, within 48 hours of them paying the lender, you'll get paid for that portion that they've just accepted. And you'll get that wire straight to your bank account. You are 1099, so you got to make sure that you're cognizant of that, so that way you put aside money for taxes, or you talk to your accountant about that. And if you have it structured as a company, I'm not an accountant, so I can't give accounting advice, so please don't ask. I'm not a CPA either, so none of this is advice in terms of that stuff, but you should make sure that you are on top of your P's and Q's for your own benefit. And that's how you submit your file. It's a very simple submission process, and always remember, no matter who you're working with, who the client is. Always share gratitude, whether they close with you. Hey, I really just appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Sincere gratitude. And with that sincere gratitude, what you can start doing is cultivating and receiving testimonials. You say, hey, by the way, my business is mostly built through word of mouth. And there's one more very important part. This is how you could really help me out. It'd be awesome if you could just send me a message saying what you enjoyed about the process. And if it's someone who's funded, I would say send me a message, a text message, just stating how much you were funded and how long it took you to get your funding, because that's really powerful for my clients to hear. I like to post it on my website. I like to post it on my social media. And if it's something that, if you don't want your name to be used, then I won't use it, but it'd be awesome if you can send me that testimonial. I'd love to use your name. If you're someone who likes the spotlight, I have a blogger that can actually do a blog, put you up. We can even do a video. By the way, we can do this on our website, so that way it can all be there for you, and you can utilize this to help you garner more business, because most clients are more comfortable doing what everyone is doing. It's always scary when they're trying to do something that no one's doing. It's intriguing, but you want to make sure that you help them understand that this is a common thing. We just do it at a higher level, and we focus on it because we know it's one of the best forms of cash for someone who's building a business. So I want to help you build your business. If you have any questions, definitely ask me. When you do sit down with a client, when you're asking for the testimonial, in that same breath you ask for a referral. You say, hey, thanks for the testimonial. Obviously, the biggest compliment you can give me is referring me to your friends and family. And what I'll do for you, and you can offer them a prize. I'll be able to give you a nice little referral fee, depending on what type of lending they get. And all I'm asking is for 1 to 5 people who will just be nice enough to just sit down and have a conversation with me. Not someone who's necessarily looking to get a loan today or tomorrow, but someone who has an open mind, because I like to build my business through people who are just friendly, who are, basically like you, successful, intelligent, entrepreneurial mindset people, and that would be the biggest help of all. So off the top of your head, who do you think would be open-minded to spending some time and learning a little bit about what we've got going on here? And then what you do is you pull out your pen and paper, they say the name, and you just write the name down. I say, okay, cool, who else? And you get to 5. After you get to 5, you say, okay, now what's Steve's phone number? And what's Bill's phone number? What's Kim's phone number? And then what you do is you say, hey, thanks, by the way, just so that they're more comfortable, can you just send them a text with my name, my number? I'll send the text to you right now. And you can just forward this to them, so that way it's not weird and they know that I'm calling and that they're comfortable with me. The objective is just to get a short intro, and then I'll connect with them at my office, or if you don't want to have them come to the office, you can meet them at a Panera. But if it's a business owner, never meet them at their business. If you meet someone at their business, they're thinking about their business. If you meet them at their business, you're the last thing on their mind. You're very unimportant in that space, and they're already busy. They're already frazzled, which is why they need the money typically, so they can step away from their business. So if it's a business owner, you don't want to meet them on site. They're going to be too distracted. It's not going to be a good interaction for you. It's not going to be a good interaction for them. You're definitely going to have a hard time closing the deal, and everyone loses, okay? So again, meet business owners either at your office or in a neutral place. If you have to meet them at their office, whatever, do it if you got to, but if you really structure your conversations correctly, most of the time you won't, okay? So that's the tips and hints to having a great business. A simple, straightforward training is what we do. When we meet in the office or if we talk over the phone, what we're going to do is a lot of role playing, a lot of scenarios, and goal setting. Want to make sure that your schedule is set up for success. Make sure that you have time for phone calls, time for one-on-ones, time for these different things that drive the business, because if that is your focus and you have a one-line focus, and if you have trouble with focusing, there's a book called Unbreakable Mind that I highly encourage you to read, because it'll help you stay focused. It'll help you master the game of mental toughness, so that way you will definitely hit your goals, not just here but in other places. And I wish you the best of luck, but more importantly, I'm excited to serve and work. So after you watch this video, do me the favor of sending me a text or an email letting me know you watched it, so that way we can take this business to the next level, and we can help putting a lot of dollars in your bank account. Happy hunting, have fun. I'll talk to you later. Bye.